Good morning. In this video, I'm going to talk about a tool that changed modern healthcare. And the term is called medical necessity. Um, and if you are dealing with the insurance company authorization, pre-authorization for medication or procedures or things like that, the term medical necessity is always used by insurance company to deny certain services or equipments or DME or medications, whatever it is. So medical necessity is a standard used by insurance companies to decide whether a treatment, test, procedure, or medication is eligible for payment under a policy. And it is defined as services that are clinically appropriate for diagnosis and treatment in line with accepted medical standards and not primarily for convenience of patient or provider. In short, if the insurance decides something isn't necessary for your diagnosis or condition, they can deny coverage, even if a doctor believes it is important. So how it came into existence? Before the 1970s, most care was paid directly or reimbursed with little oversight. As healthcare costs skyrocketed, insurers and managed care organizations began imposing utilization review, a system to control costs by deciding what care is medically necessary. But despite all this, the cost has skyrocketed. That tells you how systems is totally not good. It's totally upside down. But anyway, the concept became formalized under Medicare and Medicaid laws and later expanded into private insurance contracts. By 1980s, 1990s, medical necessity reviews were standard. Insurers hired nurses and medical directors to review claims and pre-authorization. It started as cost control measures, but evolved into a powerful gatekeeping tool that often overrides physician judgment. And basically, it has become a tool to deny care. It doesn't really matter if there's evidence-based information which really says that certain things got to be covered. But if the insurance has not kept up with their medical policy with the current evidence, then they can deny it. And in fact, the medical policy changes very often, and they're supposed to incorporate a new evidence for approval. But the insurance company is basically involved into cost cutting and saving for their bottom line. I used to work with the insurance company. I worked with one of the biggest one for 7 years in the past, and their goal was always to save for the company. Basically, in other terms, denial, denial, denial. What it means in practice, when insurance says a test procedure or device is not medically necessary, it really means one of the following. It's either experimental or not yet proven to their standard. See, their standard. Even if evidence exists, but their standard, there's medical policy. They can make any medical policy they want to, and they can make it more restrictive, more lenient kind of, but it's in their hand basically. It's for, and it's for prevention or convenience, they won't cover it. And it's if it is outside the insurance policy coverage criteria, that is also frequency limits, step up requirements. Unfortunately, the insurer criteria may differ from clinical reality or patient specific nuance, leading to care delays and denials. That happens quite often actually. What you can do if denied, the roadmap you should follow. Get the denial letter. If you get the denial letter, it must state a specific reason and medical policy used to justify denial. Recently, I had a patient whose testosterone gel was denied, and despite providing all the information, so I had to call the insurance company and tell him that, look, this guy's testosterone level is very low, and we have repeated twice. He had total lack of libido, and he needs to be on it. And so I mean, it took them only few minutes to look at it, and then they approved it. But many times somebody has to call them and talk to them. And most of the time, doctors don't have time to call because doctors are busy. And but if doctors feel that it's really important for the patient, then doctors have no choice. Um, so denial letter you get, and there's also a specific reason and the medical policy, um, and you can look for the medical necessity criteria online, or you can ask insurance company to provide it. Ask your doctor for support. Your doctor can write a detailed letter of medical necessity explaining why service product is essential for a condition, referencing clinical guidelines, peer review studies, and documented failure of standard treatment if applicable. So that requires a lot of time. That's where most of the cases fail through. File an appeal, internal appeal. First appeal goes directly to insurance company, include doctor's letter, supporting evidence. Then an external review. If still denied, you can request a state-regulated independent medical review, often through a state department of insurance. It all takes time, lots of hassles, and you should get ready to fight it, basically. Under the Affordable Care Act, every insured person has a right to an external unbiased review, but Affordable Care Act is on deathbed. I don't think politicians care about what's good for people. Step 4 is you can escalate it strategically. You can contact your state insurance commissioner or ombudsman if Medicare or Medicaid request a fair hearing, reconsideration. I think in my 30 years of experience, I've only had a handful of those cases. It went to the court or judge or ombudsman hearing, or HR benefits manager getting involved into it. It can be frustrating, but some people are really into it, and they want to get certain things done because there's no other option. They will do it. Medical necessity was created a cost containment tool, not a clinical guideline. But think about it. Has it really contained cost? No. I mean, this year, private insurance premium is going to jack about 30%, somewhere from 20-30%. Think about that. Some places even 50%. So this was a tool for cost containment. It has not really contained cost. But it can be challenged successfully when physician provide solid documentation and evidence-based justification. Patient and providers who persist appeal properly often win. So if you go through the process, most likely you will win that. And data shows that over 50% of denials are overturned upon appeal. So if you want to really fight it out, it may take some time, but there's a 50% chance that you're going to win. In most of the cases, people don't want to go through so many hassles. They don't have time. It could be frustrating, time consuming. But if you need it, if you really need them, and doctors feel that you need them, then you have no choice but to go through this whole process of frustration. But the 50% chance of approval is pretty good, though. So there are lots of hurdles to get approval in those cases, but keep that in your mind. So thank you for watching. And next video I'm going to be doing is going to be about evidence-based medicine. So thank you for watching. Have a great Monday.